Hello guys, welcome on Tesla Adventures. In this video, we are going to discuss the most discussed application of Bernoulli, which is Magnus effect. So in a football match, you must have seen the kick like that, in which ball swings to the net like that, like in anti-clockwise sense or in clockwise sense. So when I was a kid, I thought that this is a by chance kick, but absolutely not. It is not a by chance kick, and this swing is being controlled by the kicker. So let us discuss how this swing works. So if we see the situation, you can see that when the ball is being kicked, so let us suppose that this ball is being kicked in the forward direction. So the velocity of the ball, center of the ball is v, and it is also given a spin in this clockwise sense like that. So it should have been kicked from this point, so that it gets a velocity as well as a spin angular velocity, which is omega. So let us suppose that the angular velocity of the ball is omega. Now let us see that at this point of the ball, the net velocity of the ball will be v minus r omega, and at this point of the ball, the net velocity of the ball will be v plus r omega. Okay, because at this point r omega is pointing in the backward direction, and at this point v is pointing in the upward direction, and at this point v and r omega are pointing in the same direction. Now let us see that if let us suppose that the velocity of air is v air at this point. Okay, and we know that this ball will drag the air, and at this point the net velocity of the air becomes v1. Net velocity means the velocity after the drag. So net velocity will be v air minus drag velocity. Now let us assume that drag velocity is same as this velocity. So this is v minus r omega. So this is the net velocity of the air at this point in the backward direction, and at this point the net velocity of air is, let's suppose, v2. So at this point v2 will be equal to v air minus drag velocity. Now drag velocity at this point will be v plus r omega. So this is v plus r omega. So we can see that obviously drag velocity at this point is lower than drag velocity at this point, and therefore we can conclude that v1 will be greater than v2. Okay, now the velocity of air after drag at this point is greater, and therefore we know that according to Bernoulli's theorem, p plus half rho v square will be constant. I have not included the term of rho gh due to the fact that rho h is same for these 2 points, so this term will cancel out, and p plus half rho v square will be constant. So we can say that if p increases, v will decrease, and if v increases, p will decrease. So at this point velocity of air is greater, so the pressure at this point will be lower. So the pressure applied by the air at this point is, let's suppose, P1, and at this point is P2. So P1 will be lower than P2, and therefore a net force will act on the ball in this direction, F net, because this pressure P2 will be greater than P1. So the net force will act in this direction. So by giving a clockwise spin along with the velocity, the ball will swing like that in this direction. And if I would have given an anti-clockwise spin by kicking the ball at this point, then the ball will have swung like that in this direction. So this is absolutely controlled motion, and if he has to swing the ball like that, he has to kick the ball at this point, okay, so that the ball gets a spin like that. So by this spin the ball will swing like that, and by the opposite spin ball will swing like that. Now the cricket ball also swings by the same manner. Let us discuss how. So if this is a cricket ball and this is the seam of the ball, and you must have seen that some bowlers are continuously shining the ball from one side. So this is the shiny side of the ball. Generally the logo of the cricket ball is printed at this point. So this is the rough side of the ball. let us shade the rough side with the black ink. So this is the rough side of the ball and this is the shiny side of the ball, and ball is being thrown. Now in fast bowling there is no spin in the ball, so ball is just thrown with some velocity, and let us suppose that air is moving with the velocity v air with respect to ball in the backward direction. So obviously the ball at this point the friction applied by the ball on the air will be low friction, because this side is shiny side, and at this point the friction applied by the ball on the air will be high. This would be high friction. This is high friction, and obviously the velocity of the ball at this point is v1, and let's suppose at this point is v2. So v1 will be the velocity of the ball at this point. V1 will be greater than v2, due to the fact that at this point friction is less, so ball will drag the air with some lower velocity, and at this point friction is high, so ball will drag the air with some higher velocity. So net velocity of air at this point will be greater than the net velocity of air at this point. And therefore we can say by Bernoulli's theorem, the point where velocity of the air will be low, the pressure will be high. So pressure applied by the air on the ball at this point is, let's suppose, P1, and pressure applied by the air on the ball at this point is, let's suppose, P2. So we can say that P1 will be less than P2. So if P1 is less than P2, then a net force will act on the ball in this direction, F net, and therefore we can say that ball will swing like that. So if the bowler is bowling to a right-hander and he wills to bowl in swinger, so he will put the shiny side towards the batsman so that ball gets in swinged, and if he has to bowl out swinger, he will put the shiny side on this side so that ball goes like that. So nowadays the batsmen are very smart, and they are continuously looking at the shine of the ball so that he could predict on time that where will this ball will swing. So bowlers are doing the thing that bowlers are preventing this shine from batsmen, and they are hiding this shiny side by placing the other hand on the ball, and they just remove the other hand when finally when they just release the ball from the hand. So they are hiding this shiny part from the batsman so that batsman could not predict the ball, that whether it would be an in-swinger or it would be out-swinger. So guys, this was the Magnus effect and the swinging of cricket ball, and in the next video we'll be bringing some more applications of Bernoulli's theorem. Thank you.